Oh, oh. Prepare the studio.
And oop.
Greetings, Internet. Welcome to But I'm Still a Good Person by Vince Nicholas. I'm Vince Nicholas. I'm joined by my sparkling wifey, Carolyn Nicholas.
Hello.
Hello, honey. Thank you for joining me on our bed for our little program here. Okay, so you have an idea of exposing the kids to various religions. Where did this idea come from? How is this gonna play out? What's going on up in that noodle of yours, darling?
This came into my brain inspired by you because there's a church we always drive by on Jefferson.
Yeah.
And you're always thinking, we should go drive by that. We
Yeah.
should drive by it.
It's a cute little church, like in a just like residential neighborhood.
Yeah, so finally a couple days ago, we turned right into the neighborhood
Yeah.
and we drove by it. It's just a little church. I have no idea what denomination it is.
Yeah.
And I got the brilliant idea that we should do a church tour as a family. So I'm going to pick a different church, and for a whole month, we're going to go every Sunday to a different church. We're going to do a Catholic mass.
Okay.
We're going to do a random. There's so many churches in our neighborhood and in West Sac, so
Yeah.
we're just going to pick a random one. We might hit up the Mormon church out here in West Sac.
Oh.
We might go to like a Southern Baptist kind of church or Baptist.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
That's what I was raised in, Pentecostal specifically, or Southern Baptist specifically. I don't know. I don't remember. But you were raised in the Mormon faith, and your family still continues to be a huge part of it. You've been excommunicated. Is that correct?
Only in spirit.
Okay.
The kids were not raised. I've not raised them in any religion.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to organized religion. It's not in my belief
Why not?
system. But I think that, like, culturally, I think it's good for kids to see this is what it means to, like, go to a house of worship, and this is what happens during a church service. And there's different types of religions, and this is what they all look like in their worship. I think it's good to be exposed to that.
This is how you get dressed up for nothing. This is how you waste a Sunday. This is how you turn love for God into a business, a for-profit enterprise. Mary. Yeah.
It's also beneficial to the brain of a child to sit
Yeah.
in a hard, uncomfortable pew
yeah.
and let your brain wander for an
yeah.
hour and be bored.
No TikTok.
Right. No escape.
Right. Back when I was a young man, we just read the hymn book over and over.
Yes.
But yeah, no TikTok, no Minecraft, no Roblox.
My parents let us doodle and like we'd draw little pictures and stuff.
Oh, really? And that led to your excommunication? I remember Sunday school being fun-ish or whatever. But when it came like the big church and the big house, it was just like, and my mom would stand up and sing, and I'd be like, really? I was just never moved. I couldn't put my hands in the air. Like, I just don't care.
Music was the best part of church service. There's definitely aspects of it that I enjoyed.
Yeah. I was just embarrassed, I guess. I didn't want to sing. I didn't want my mom to sing. And like the people playing the piano and singing up on stage, I'd always be like, why don't you get a record label deal like Phil Collins? What about, can we dedicate a weekend to Scientology, honey? I mean,
I'm down for that. I don't think they have traditional church service. They don't have services, or do they? I think they, honestly, I don't know. I don't think they have like a traditional church service worship hour, though.
I'll bring my copy of Dianetics and I'll say, hook me up to your e-meters.
This was a follow-up aspect to my church going, is we're also going to, as a family, we're going to read the Bible,
Whoa.
the Quran,
Wow.
the works of L. Ron Hubbard, the Book of Mormon, and we're all going to do book reviews.
Wow. Yeah, okay. What about the chapter in the Quran about the infidels, honey? Are we going to have to read that?
Oh, yeah.
And what we do to them? What about Satan worship, Lucifer, the church of the devil? Will that come into play at all? Could we spend a weekend watching that, maybe playing
Yeah.
with the Ouija board or two.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just got to Google it and see if there's any near us.
And the guy with the horns and the cape, he a bad boy. And then Heaven's Gate. What about cults? Are we going to talk about Jim Jones and all that crap?
So you want to take this further and have us watch documentaries?
We already do.
Yeah, you and I do. We don't.
Those are
The
our
kids
favorite.
don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are our favorite. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Anything cult, religion, and if sex is involved, ooh, love it, love it. So the couple across the way from our condo are moving. It's husband wife, and they just had a baby, and they have an annoying dog that barks at us all the time. But they moved, like we saw the moving trucks, and now they have the big, comically big lock for the realtor to get the key from on their doorknob. And I mean, they were okay, they were fine, but they did smoke the jazz cabbage outside of our open window one fine Saturday afternoon. And they brought over our Amazon packages days late because we both have the same unit number. And they left our Xbox, what is it? Xbox One S, yeah, the lower tier one. They left our Xbox One S, which was misdelivered to their door. They left it out in front. They moved it from their porch 6 feet away. So porch pirates, welcome.
They're like, this isn't our way of getting in our door.
Right. But they were fine, I guess. So there's going to be new people moving in, honey. Do you have any hopes, dreams, aspirations for our new neighbors? Let's hope they're not Section 8.
I do have a plan to introduce myself / ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I want to bake them something and take it over and introduce ourselves and give them a heads up. Hey, that you'll be getting a lot of our packages and we'll be getting a lot of yours.
Yeah.
So we're going to be seeing each other and be on the lookout for that.
Yeah. That sounds divine. That sounds like what we used to do in small town USA in the 1950s. I like it. Good plan. Let's see if it actually comes to fruition. So, listen, we're early birds. We turn in early. We rarely go out at night. But Lennox the other night, he was like, hey, I'm going bowling with the Winds at 9 p.m. And we were like, what? And yeah, his friend Lincoln went, and Lincoln's dad took Lincoln, Len, and a few other friends bowling out in, I forget, Sacramento somewhere. And so I kept an eye on him. You fell asleep, and I was sleeping, but I was up also. I kept an eye on him. We have Google Maps with Len, so we always know where he is. Kept an eye on him, and he was out in Sacramento, Citrus Heights. That's where he went. Fireside Lanes and Citrus Heights. And finally he got home at 1 a.m. Like, what the heck? That is so opposite us.
It is. But didn't you used to do that when you were young?
Yeah.
That used to be very normal.
I love that.
But we haven't done that in years.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved when my friends' parents would take us out, show us around, show us on the town. Yeah, and then did he come home that night?
No, he spent the night at their house.
Okay. Yeah, but complete different from us. Like, we go to the movies early, we go out early, and when it's dark, we don't like to go out for the most part.
We're just preparing for our twilight years.
Yeah, we're old. I like to be clean and in bed by 7:30, 8 p.m. at the latest. Okay, showered. It's turn-in time. So you recently had a fire alarm at your work, darling.
Yes, I'm sitting at work and the fire alarm goes off and everyone gets up. You know, whenever that happens, everybody's confused. And
Freaks out, yeah.
And then I grabbed my phone and I locked my drawer and a supervisor came in my cubicle. Get out! Get out! It's like, okay, it's been 10 seconds. So we all
I want to die.
gather in the parking lot, and it turns out this was not a drill. This was a real fire alarm. And we found out hours later. We stood outside for about an hour. A fire truck came, and we didn't know exactly what was going on. There was no smoke. So we're all standing around making small talk.
Oh, the worst.
you're eyeing people across the parking lot, and I have no idea who these people are
Right.
because there's so
Right.
many people in our building.
Right.
So we finally went back inside.
I want to go back inside to not seeing you people.
Later in the afternoon, I found out the cause was that somebody microwaved
Uh,
a piece of foil in the microwave oven.
cool.
And it didn't even actually catch fire, but it caused a suspicious smell,
Uh,
and the fire department was called out.
yeah. Did you enjoy the time with your coworkers, making small talk, joking about, oh, we got out just in the nick of time. Seeing your coworkers in the daylight is can be scary. Did you enjoy that? Was it terrible? Did you just want to? Did you long for the comforts of your cubicle, darling?
I did, but it wasn't terrible. I do work with a couple of ladies that I really like. And I sit near them anyway, so
Yeah.
like we chat during the day anyhow.
Got you.
And I didn't talk to anybody else out in the parking lot.
Ah.
We just stuck with our little group.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good, good.
It was
Yeah.
okay.
We escape together and we're gonna die together. So we recently had Juneteenth off. It was a Wednesday. We both work for the same organization. We had Juneteenth off as a Wednesday, but we had to work Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday. And then July 4th this year was on a Thursday. What do you think about these midweek days off? I mean, I'm all for a day off anytime I can get one, but the midday, the Wednesday, the Thursday, and then you got to go back to work on Friday. It's just
July 4th on a Thursday was tough because you just have to go back for that Friday. It's like you're so close to having the whole weekend,
yeah,
but you can't quite start your weekend. So that was difficult.
yeah,
But I enjoyed having a Wednesday off.
yeah.
You work 2 days, have a day off, a break in the middle of the week, and then
Yeah.
work a couple more days. I was cool with that.
I feel like I couldn't enjoy either day. Like on Wednesday, on Juneteenth, I had the Wednesday scaries. On the 4th of July, I had the Thursday scaries, and I just couldn't fully let myself go, whatever that means. But next year, my idea is that we take a look at the calendar and any holidays that fall on a Wednesday or Thursday, take the like if it's a Wednesday, take the Thursday and Friday off. If it's a Thursday, take the Friday off, so we can really let loose,
We will. We'll do that.
let our freak flags fly. So if you're just joining us, I've stopped going after spider webs. I used to be spider web killer all the time, always getting rid of spider webs and cobwebs. But then we got inundated with bugs in our home. So I've chilled on the spiderweb destruction. And yes, our home looks like a freaking haunted house with the amount of cobwebs and spiderwebs around our windows and doors and whatnot. But there has been no bug infestation.
Yes, this is what I've been saying for years.
Yeah.
When I always tell you and the kids to
I
let
know.
the spiders live.
I know.
Finally, I'm proven right.
Yeah. And but how long do I let it go? Like our neighbor Socorro, she like there were some spiders who have set up shop right between her air conditioner and her wall. They have like a freaking McMansion going on. It's like a spider hype house or something. Like there's a whole deal going on there. Do you ever want to let it get that out of control?
No, no, no. Definitely not. I think when this heat wave that we're experiencing finally passes,
Yeah.
you can go outside and clean them up.
Gotcha.
And then if we notice the bugs are coming back, we'll let the spiders go again. We'll
Yeah.
let them flourish once again.
Yeah, I do find myself now that I don't have to raise their homes, as it were. I do find myself cheering the spiders on. Like I'll see, we have wasps or yellow jackets that circle around here and there, and just bugs flying around that I don't even know what the names are. But I'm always like, I want you to get caught in a spider web and get your blood sucked out. Yes, I want you to die, Mr. Wasp. Although, when a wasp gets on one of our windows or a glass door to the patio or balcony, I like to cling, cling, and then you get mad at me because I flick the glass.
You're banging the heck out of the glass. and you're going to break it.
Well, my fingers are really strong, honey. I lift, but I'm not going to break the glass, darling. Speaking of the heat wave, it is hot. It was 100, over 110 for 4 or 5 days in a row. Super duper hot. The other morning, you woke up. Speaking of meal prep, you woke up at 5:45 a.m. To make dinner. Can you talk about that process, lover?
There's a meal I make. It's just like a homemade spaghetti sauce with
Yeah.
a bunch of veggies and fake meat thrown in there for our vegetarian daughter.
Yes.
And noodles. And it's way too hot to be doing that at dinner time like I usually do.
Yeah.
I have multiple burners going. It's a long process. So I woke up at 6 a.m. and I made it, cooked it, let it cool down, and then I packed it all up in Tupperware and put it in the fridge all before I went to work in the morning.
You're the real VIP. You didn't do the dishes, though.
I did.
The sink was full of pans, which is fine. I understand.
I did some cleanup.
But now my haircuts have moved to 5:30 a.m. And listen, it's hot. We leave the AC on for 14 hours a day.
Our bill is going to be painful.
It's about to be $600-ish. I got an email from PG&E, right? And Pacific Gas Electric, our power company, and they said, "Hey, we compared your energy usage for the month to 100 similar size homes." And I was like, "All right." And so this is the number one ranking is given to the home that uses the least amount of energy. So from 1 to 100. And what did we rank? 81st.
Okay.
I want to get to the 90s. Let's leave that dang thing on all the darn time. Reminds me of my mom. My mom knows when the power is cheaper. So when I was down there visiting, I left for the airport at, it was 4 a.m.-ish, 5 a.m.-ish. It was super early in the morning. And I hugged my mom, love you, goodbye, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, okay, I gotta do laundry because the electricity rate is low. And I was like, okay, you're really out here, queen. I see here in my notes, honey, you had a little accident at the Dollar Tree today. Can you tell us about it?
I was picking up a package of brownie mix and I looked down and there's brown dust all over the front of my torso and chest and arms. There's like a hole in the little plastic. It's one of those plastic bags that they're not a cardboard box.
Yeah. Did you shake it? Was it upside down? Did it just was there just a hole in it?
The hole was in the bottom.
Oh.
And so I just put it back on the shelf.
Why?
And brushed myself off.
Why didn't you give it to a Dollar Tree employee? Darling,
I put it back and grabbed one that didn't have a hole, and then I walked away.
The next, you know what? It's probably 8 people have grabbed that bag and put it back.
Eventually, it'll be empty,
right?
And it won't be a problem anymore.
Right. You were embarrassed. You weren't wearing a white shirt. You were wearing a black shirt, but it does show up.
Oh yeah, it did.
Looked like you were doing brown cocaine. Am I right? But did you want to go home and change? Because we had to go to Target after that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm not that vain.
You dusted yourself.
It was so hot. Nothing matters right now because it's so dang hot.
True that. Then at Dollar Tree, you bought a cup. Too many cups, too many coffee mugs.
Oh.
The Carolyn and Vince Nicholas story, yes?
I promised you.
Yeah.
There in the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
I said I'm buying a glass. I'm going to throw away something at home.
Yeah.
To put... So it's balanced.
Marie Kondo. You threw away 2 plastic cups, one from what's the baseball team?
The River Cats.
The River Cats. It was a souvenir cup, cheap plastic cup, but it has graphics on it. And then a Kings cup from when your dad took Lennox and I to a Kings game. You threw them both out, which I'm all for. Because I look at them and I'm like, it's nice, but I have that memory right here.
Well, yeah.
I'm pointing to my head. And I also have the memory right here. I'm pointing to my heart. Okay? We don't need those musty cups anymore.
I just threw away the cups that get used the least.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Good job. And then I stole a bag from Target inadvertently. So I check out. You were in the makeup section, whatever. I grabbed some eggs and salad. And I go check out. I buy this stuff. And says, do you want a bag? And I accidentally, I swear, judge, officer, Accidentally hit 0 bags, but there's no way to go back. There's no back button. So I'm like, well, whatever. So I put 0 bags, and the Target employee gal is right behind me. And I'm like, well, I'm going to grab this bag, and if she wants to go toe to toe, we can handle it like some gangsters up in here. But I put the eggs and salads in the bag, and she was none the wiser. And then when you checked out with your makeup stuff, you didn't even put a bag down.
She already had one.
You used my stolen bag, darling.
I did.
Target. It was our version of a smash and grab. This is the smash and grab of people who don't go bowling at 9 p.m. I spotted homeless Jesus's van. I've seen him out and about. His van is no longer on our condo grounds, but I've seen him. He gets mail here. He gets mail, and I've seen him walking towards the park. And I'm like, where is he going? Because the van may be over there, or he may have a tent by the river. I don't know. But we went on a mission, honey. What can you tell us what happened?
You obsessively wanted to drive through our neighborhood looking for him.
Oh, is Batman obsessively fighting crime? Sorry for caring about my community.
So we drove up and down the streets, and sure enough, there he was.
Yeah.
Not him, but his van.
Right.
We saw it parked there right by the park.
Yeah, it's alongside the park, which is not a private home. It's across the street from residential homes. But I think, you know what got him out there? My public shaming of him on our Riva Facebook.
Your harassment of his existence.
My enforcing the parking rules, sweetie pie. And finally, what we watched recently, Bad Blood. It's about Taylor Swift versus Scooter Braun. And it was done. It was so stupid. It was like the first hour is going to be Taylor's side, and the second hour will be Scooter's side. But they just repeated a bunch of the information from Taylor's first hour. I don't know. What did you think about this alleged documentary, darling?
That's so effective to me personally, because the whole first hour I'm like, yeah, Team Taylor.
Yeah.
And then it switches to Scooter Braun's perspective. Yeah. I'm like, oh, she's so wrong. She was lying. She was so in the wrong.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's effective, I guess. At the end, I guess I feel they both did some wrong. Or something. I don't care.
That's the most important part. It doesn't matter. No one cares. It was a billionaire, Taylor Swift, fighting with 100-millionaire, Scooter Braun, over money. And it was like, whatever. A bunch of whining. But are you team in this particular brouhaha, this row, honey? Are you Team Taylor or Team Scooter?
Oh, I'm afraid to say.
Okay.
Those Swifties are scary. I think at the end of the day, it was just a business transaction.
Exactly.
And Taylor did have the opportunity to buy her masters.
Yes.
I think she wanted her masters to just be handed to her because I think she felt ownership over them. And this documentary explains very well that the majority of artists own the lyrics and the music, but the original recordings, those are what the masters are called, and those belong to the record labels usually, and they can be sold.
Yeah.
She already owned the lyrics, and she was able to perform these songs.
Yes.
She lied about that.
Wow.
But I think when it came down to owning the masters...
The Swifties are coming for you on Twitter.
She never came to a deal because she didn't want to have to pay for them. She thought they should just belong to her.
Right.
And that's what upset her. But it wasn't wrong for the business deals to happen without her and that wasn't wrong.
For Scooter to make a smart business decision. But what about her sexism and Scooter's mean and bullying?
Yeah, I think that to an extent that was true. I think she's a very sensitive person.
Yeah.
She's very thin-skinned.
Well, you have to be an artist, yeah.
Very sensitive. So I think Scooter and Kanye, like, they did some mean, rude things.
Okay.
But it was nothing that Nothing that warranted her rage and her ongoing,
Right.
nearly a decade now,
Her
anger.
her to weaponize her Swifty fan base, her whatever millions, billions of fans, to threaten and harass. Speaking of bullying, threaten and harass Scooter and I forget the other guy's name. But it was just I, I Scooter made a financial transaction that was completely legal, that was super smart, and that's what he did. And if there were feelings behind it, or he had evil intentions behind it, okay, I mean, whatever. But I think when Taylor was saying that Scooter's be mean to Scooter on Twitter or whatever, go after, and he started getting threats, which were empty and meaningless. Let's be honest. Like, we're gonna shoot you and your wife tonight with a gun. It's just whatever. But yeah, I think Scooter was in the right team. Scooter.
I can see Taylor being angry, but
Yeah.
it's snowballed into this huge narrative, and
Yeah.
it's like so much part of her brand now and her
Right.
persona,
Right.
and it's threaded into all of her
Right.
albums and her Eras tour.
Yeah.
So it got way out of control, and
She.
she completely encouraged that
Yes.
and
She
orchestrated that.
capitalized it on it. She used her fan base, and she loves being successful. She loves money. She loves fame. Let's be honest. And so any threat to that is she just reacts negatively to, or she fears really to fall out of favor, and she just turns it into this thing where it's a it's oh my gosh, it's the patriarchy and it's sexism when it's not really Taylor.
Does she experience sexism and people are mean to her and bully her? Of course, yes.
Yeah,
Does that have anything to do with this particular business transaction? No, I don't think so.
and even if it does, who cares?
But she's very, I don't want to get on her bad side. I hope she doesn't listen to this pod. She's very cutthroat.
Hey, we went to her dance party
Yes,
2 years ago.
we sure did.
What about her re-recording the Taylor's version? Like, that screams to me just the most greedy capitalism, just unchecked ego.
Yeah, but I think it was very smart, and like she's made so much money off it.
She has
So
enough money. She
that
has
was
enough money. Does she need more money?
it was unnecessary,
She's bilking her fans again and again for buy this new album, which is the same album. Buy this next album, which is the same. When's it enough, Taylor? Okay, I mean, I don't mean to sound like a communist, but when is enough enough? Like, let good things lie, let things be. Scooter got the best of you and your dad or whatever, and Big Machine record label, and you're fine.
Speaking of her dad, that's another interesting wrinkle. He owned shares of her masters. So when she sold her masters got sold to
Yeah.
Scooter Braun.
Yeah.
He made like millions of dollars.
money, yeah.
15 million or something. I
Yeah.
don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
He made a huge amount of money
Yeah.
off this business deal that she allegedly knew nothing about and that hurt her to her core.
Yeah.
And here's her dad over here making all this money.
Right.
Who's also how is he involved? Is he her manager or no?
He's a finance guy,
He's
so he
involved
knows
somehow
something.
with her company or
Yeah.
her. He makes money off her currently still.
And they haven't had a falling out. He's still out there. Mrs.
No,
Swift is still out there.
they're on cahoots.
Right. Right. It's all a scam. It's just all maneuvering for more clout and attention and money. Anyways, terrible documentary. Nothing new was learned. Team Scooter. I don't know. And the whole Kanye, Taylor Swift thing. Who cares? Dumb. Dumb. Alrighty, were we done, honey?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's the end of the program. It's been fun, but not really. Let's all try a little harder next time. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, review, and rate, or don't. Do whatever you want. You're a grown up. Make your own decisions. Do what's best for your family. Please be sure to use our promo code for a box of brownie mix, a bag of brownie mix with a hole in it. We don't have a promo code for a bag of brownie mix with a hole in it. Goodbye, my parasocial podcast friends. I love you. My wife and I love you. We hope you have a good day today and tomorrow. And sure, you may have walked around with brownie. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It looked like a couple like sweat spots or something. But you're still a good person, and we're still good people. Thank you for caring. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. We hope you have a wonderful day/night. Oh, bye bye.